Hey guys, it's Sarah, and today I'm going to be sharing my April TBR. Okay, April is going to be an amazing month. It really is. So I'm starting out the month with the BookList Readathon, which is a readathon that I am hosting with my friend Lindsay over at Lindsay's Little Library. So I will share all the details down below. I will link the videos down below for the details for all of that. And that's going to be the first week in April. And then for the rest of the month, I am going to be participating in the BookBuddyathon. And I am doing this with my friend Krista over at Books and Jams. I will leave her link down below too. Guys, make sure you please go check her out. She's wonderful. And we are doing the BookBuddyathon for the entire month of April. And this is a readathon that is hosted by Elena at Elena Reads Books. And I believe Janet from Swirly Girly Reads. I'll leave the link down below too. So lots of links down below this time. But this is a readathon that is taking place over the entire month of April, and you buddy up with somebody and you have a ton of prompts. This time around, they're doing a bingo board, which is really, really cool. And just there's prompts in there, and it's going to be a ton of fun. So if you have not seen my TBR for my BookList Readathon, go ahead and check that out. I have that down below as well. And that's going to be kind of my first week. And then for the rest of the month, this is what I have planned. A couple of these books do overlap because they fit prompts for both of them. So I kind of had to do that a little bit. I'll still show them here, but not all of them. So I do have a couple more on that other video if you haven't seen that one yet. All right. So BookBuddyathon, I'm so excited. So the bingo board has 12 squares on it, and I will go ahead and put the image right here. And there's 12 squares that have pictures of TV shows, which I think is really cool that she used TV shows for prompts. And then there are 4 squares, one in each row, that's just something not book related. And you can just kind of check those off. So I'll share those at the end, but let's go through the TV shows with the prompts first. So the first TV show prompt is 90210, and this is to pick a book with a number in the title. And I am going to be reading The One and Only Ivan by Katherine Applegate. This is a book I'm also reading for my BookList Readathon. And this one is for a class that I'm taking right now. I'm taking a materials for children class. So I have a few books that I need to finish up before my big reading project is done. And this is one of them that's on that list. So I'm going to read this one. This one should go pretty quickly. It is written in verse, as you can see. So it will go very, very quickly for me when I sit down and actually read it. But I'm very excited to read this one. The next TV show is Dawsons Creek, and this is to pick a book that is over 400 pages. And I think the reasoning behind that was because there were a lot of episodes of Dawsons Creek. So I thought that was kind of fun. For this one, I'm choosing Foxheart, and this is by Claire Legrand. And this one is another book for my reading project, and it's one of my daughter's favorites. She absolutely loved this book. It has 469 pages, so it is quite a longer book, but I'm still very excited to read it. The next TV show is A New Girl, one of my favorites. And the prompt for this one is to read a new to you author or a new to you book. So maybe something you most recently acquired, or if you want to go with an author that you never read before, do that. I'm going to do the author, and I am going to read Vicious by V.E. Schwab. V.E. Schwab has quite a few books out, and I have not read anything by her yet. And Vicious is actually one I'm going to be reading for my BookList Readathon as well. It's going to be a 5-star prediction, so I'm going to go ahead and plug that one in here too. The next one is Pretty Little Liars, and this is to pick a book that is a thriller that maybe has some dark themes, or even a contemporary with dark themes, something with a dark theme in it. And for this one, I'm picking Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. So it even has the word dark in the title. This is a shorter book because Gillian Flynn writes, kind of shorter books, but they all have very dark themes. They're never what you think they are, and she tends to shock you. This is one that I just haven't read yet. This is the only one by her I haven't read, and it is on my 2019 list to read for the year. So I want to go ahead and do that now. And since it is shorter, it'd be good to do that in a readathon. So I'm a little nervous though, because once this is done, I don't have any more Gillian Flynn, and that makes me a little bit sad. The next prompt is Gilmore Girls, and that is to read a book off of the Rory Gilmore reading list. And so Elena provided a list for us that has all the books that Rory Gilmore either read or talked about on the show. And it's a very extensive list, but I went through it and, picked out the ones that I already have on my shelves. And I decided to go with Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. This is another one that is on my 2019 list to read this year. It's one of my top 9. So I'm very excited to read this. It's one that I've been really wanting to read for a long time. It's kind of a classic thriller, like a classic psychological thriller. It's also a romance. So I've heard just incredible things about it. And it's kind of considered like a classic, almost maybe a more modern classic type thing. But yeah, so this is happening. Next one is Friends, and this is to buddy read a book with your buddy. So this is going to be read between Krista and I, and we are going to be reading The Home for Unwanted Girls by Joanna Goodman. And this is one that I suggested to her because she had posted that she wanted suggestions from her subscribers. And so I went through her Goodreads list and said, hey, read this one. And then when you do, let's read it together. And she was like, okay. So she put it on her list to read for the year. And then we figured, hey, we need to buddy read a book together anyway. We talked about this one already. Let's go ahead and read it now. So no clue what this is really about, but we both bought it thinking it looked good. So we're going to be reading it now. The next prompt is The Big Bang Theory, and this is to read a book that your buddy thinks you will love. And so Krista went through my Goodreads, and she kind of petered between a couple of them, but ultimately she decided on Bird Box by Josh Malerman. This is a book I have on my Kindle, so I'm glad she picked this one because it is shorter, and it is one I've been wanting to read. This one has been adapted to a film on Netflix. I've heard really, really good things about it, and both the book and the adaptation. So I'm excited. I'm a little bit nervous because this is kind of a horror book, but Krista loved it and she's not super into horror. So there is that, but I'm excited to read it. And I think it'll be a good thing to read for this readathon. The next prompt is one of my favorite shows of all time, which is Sex and the City. And this one, you pick 4 books and then your buddy picks one of those books for you to read. And so I picked 4 off my shelves, just things that were kind of on my mind, things that I thought recently, hey, I should probably pick that up soon. So I grabbed 4 of those, and Krista ended up picking The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides, and I've heard really good things about this. Krista does believe that I would really enjoy this. It sounds like something I would really enjoy. It's definitely a thriller, and yeah, I'm excited to read it. Okay, so the next show is Girls, and this one you are supposed to pick a graphic novel, a manga, or some sort of picture book. Okay. So I have one. It's not a graphic novel or a manga. I just don't read those. But I have Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, the illustrated edition. I got this from the library. This is part of my school reading project as well. I'm reading this for that. So I'm going to count it for this because it obviously has pictures in it. This is just like very similar to the Harry Potter illustrated editions, but it's Percy Jackson instead. And so I'm going to use this for this prompt because it definitely has pictures in it. This is illustrated by John Rocco, by the way. But yeah, so I will be finally starting the Percy Jackson series. I really have been interested in giving this series a try. So reading it for my class has just been the perfect excuse for it. And when I went to the library to get it, this was the only edition they had. So I was like, I'm not mad about that. And then this prompt came up. So perfect. The next prompt is The OC, which is to read a book with orange on the cover. And for this one, I'm going to be reading Wondersmith by Jessica Townsend. This is the sequel to Nevermore, book 2 in the series. And it does have orange right here in this little bubble. And I am so excited to read this, you guys. I loved Nevermore. It has been my favorite of the year so far. And I buddy read it with one of my subscribers, Kelly. And we talked about, let's read the second one like soon. So we are definitely going to be reading this in the month of April, and I'm so excited about it. The next prompt is Will and Grace, and this is to read a book with LGBTQ either representation or themes or characters, something like that. And I went through my shelves and I kind of looked for books that I knew off the top of my head at least had characters that were LGBT. And I found a few, but they were really long. So I was kind of looking for something a little bit shorter. And then I looked on my Kindle and I have The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. And that's one I've been wanting to read for a while, but this does have some LGBTQ characters in it. And I'm going to read that one. And the last TV show challenge is Glee, and that is to read a comfort read. So it's just something that's going to put you back in your comfort zone. And for that, I'm going to actually do a reread, and I'm going to read The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. This is a book of novellas. There are 5 prequel novellas to the Throne of Glass series in this book, and it's a comfort read because I've already read it, and I know that I'm going to love it, and I want to read the entirety of the Throne of Glass series this year, and I need to get started because I haven't started that yet. So this is going to be a reread. I'm going to go ahead and just do the novellas first because these are all prequels. So I will read this and then move on to the books in the series. But I'm excited to get back to this world and to get back with these characters. It's been a very long time since I read a Throne of Glass book. And so I'm excited to, just kind of start from the beginning and just work my way through the entire series this year. So this is going to be the first stop, and I'm very excited about it. Okay, so those are the 12 TV show prompts for the bingo board. It's a lot of books, but I'm excited about them. So the other prompts that are on here that kind of fill out the board a little bit, one of them is to post your TBR on social media. This is kind of that. I may do one on Instagram as well. We'll have to see. Another one is to read for an hour in one go. I do that on a normal basis, so that's not a problem. Talk to your buddy every day. And so Krista and I are going to talk every day, even if it's just a little text message like, hey, how you doing? What are you reading? Blah, blah, blah. And then another one is to shout out a book lover, which is not a problem. I shout people out on my channel all the time, so I will do that at some point. But I'm very excited about this bingo board and to try to fill it up as much as I possibly can and to read all of these books. It does look like a lot, but quite a few of them are middle grade, so they're going to go a little bit faster. Some of them are very short, so it's going to go fast. And I am just excited to take on this challenge. So I have a ton of links down below for you. So make sure you go check them all out. Check out Krista, check out Elena, check out Janet, check out the readathon if you guys want to participate in it somehow, all that good stuff. And wish me luck. And I will see you guys again soon. Hope you have a great day. Bye.